Hi, everyone. This is Tina Reynolds. I'm the president of Uptown Studios, and I'm here with Mia Lopez.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mia Lopez, and I am the community social media engagement specialist here at Uptown Studios.
Yeah, and we're here to run you through Facebook 101, give you a bunch of basics, get you up to speed a little bit, and hopefully the biggest thing that we're going to do is eliminate some of the fear so that you're not afraid to post. All right. So these are some of the topics that we're going to cover. Social media strategy recap, business page versus a personal profile and what the differences are, community building and engagement, who uses Facebook. We're going to go through a list that shows you if your target audience is in there somewhere, and I'm sure they are. Best practices for posting, and the biggest thing is that now with Facebook, you have to start paying for ads rather than them letting you use it all for free. But it's part of doing business.
Very important. So, if you joined us for our Twitter Relief webinar, we already went through some strategy for Twitter and social media in general, but we'd like to just recover some of that here in our Facebook webinar.
So social media strategy, what we're trying to emphasize here is that if you think about what you're going to do in the future and you can make a plan, it's going to be much more effective than just doing it as you go. Most of us started our Facebook pages because someone else had started a Facebook page and you wanted to see pictures of your family, and as it grew and grew, things changed so that now it is a real tool that you use for marketing, but we didn't start it that way. So now we want to talk about why are you doing Facebook and how can it benefit you? So it's really talking about these things that you can set up some goals and figure out some real reasons that are going to benefit you, why you're using Facebook.
And some of the key places to start, just as you would set up any type of marketing strategy, you want to set up your goals. What is the purpose of your social media strategy? Are you trying to get newsletter signups?
Right.
Are you trying to get people to donate to your cause and your organization?
Right.
Are you trying to increase awareness at your events?
Yeah.
All of these types of goals need to be written down somewhere before you start crafting your social media strategy. And part of that is also who's your target audience. Is it women, men, ages 35 to 45, or is it younger than that? Because you want to plan your messages around who your target audience is. You're not going to want to have a certain type of language with one audience that you would use with maybe an older, more sophisticated audience.
Yes. Right. If your target audience is the millennials and you want them to get out there and plant some trees for you, then you really need to make sure that all of your posts and your messages are geared to that target audience. So it looks like them, it sounds like them, and you're being social with them.
Right. Make time to engage. One of the most important things in your social media strategy will be not just to schedule your posts, but to go in as your page, as your community page, and like and speak to other pages, interact with them, share their posts. All of these are important to showing that, we're not just talking to you, we're talking with you and joining in the conversation.
The way that really kind of emphasizes this point is this whole thing is called social media. So what we like to convey to our target audiences is that we want you to be social on social media. And it's not just about me, I did this, we did this, we did this. It is about how to engage people in a conversation, how do you join a conversation, and how do you get people to start talking together, not just one voice that's projected out, but it is a listening, sharing, commenting, liking. And that's the biggest part of social media, is that we don't get that it's an extension of your existing brand, and now you get to have a brand personality that you get to put out there. And you're really building your reputation. Mm-hmm. This is a reputation tool, and you get a reputation by engaging people.
Right. And then last, with any type of strategy, monitor and evaluate your progress. I really recommend monthly writing down what kind of progress did you make, what post resonated the most with your audience. how many likes did you grow this month? Or are you reaching the new people that you want to extend your audience with? These types of the progress that you're making, matching them with the goals that you're trying to achieve will really tell you, are you meeting those goals?
And we're going to, all of these things that we just talked about, we're going to take you into some live pages and show you exactly what we're talking about. So it's not just a huge amount of information that makes your eyes roll back in your head. We're going to show you how to work these things. All right, so the rule of thirds, this is really the crux of the social part of social media. What we want to do is organize your thoughts, especially on Facebook, that 1/3 is about what it is that you do. So 1/3 of your post would be, we're planning a tree planting at McKinley Park this Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon, and we want you to sign up. Here's a picture of the one of the first trees that we planted in 1958. Here's a park that has all of these volunteers that are showing up and working on mulching around the trees. The second third is about your industry. So it might be a white paper on how to care for trees in the drought that you did not write, but you found this great paper that you want to share with all of the other interested people. Or it's photos of another group that's in California that has another tree planting that they're doing. Or it is just about the industry of trees and your industry that you're sharing with others because it's great information. Then the final third is just because, and this is where the real social part comes in, where you begin to share your brand personality with the people that are on your channel. And it is saying that, you know what, we went to the ballet and we're supporting our community by going to the ballet. That has nothing to do with what you're doing, but you're going and you're showing support for your greater community. If you ever want the ballet to support you in some event that you're doing, you need to support the ballet. So it is really about sharing your community greatness with all of the people that are on your page, and it shows that you have you're really building community in a greater space than just your silo.
So business versus personal, and I'm sure most of you already have a personal page, and we'll just go and go through a personal page very quickly.
Okay, that's perfect.
And versus a business page. So here on your personal page, this one's mine. You can go through and you'll see.
There's a cute little hula girl.
So cute. You have posts from your friends and your family and people that you are interested in sharing your personal events with. And if I'm posting to my personal page, I'm posting things about myself or about things that I care about in my own voice.
Yeah. And
this is very different from
and the message on your personal page is an iMessage. She would say, I work at Uptown Studios and I'm going to this event and I love this picture and I am going on this walk. You know, it's all about the iMessage from your personal page. Right. And then when we go to the business page, we're shifting voice. So here's the Uptown Studios page, and what we would like to do is to talk about we and the greater issues. So if we go through, Uptown Studios does a lot of marketing, web, video. We produced, in fact, let's go down to this white paper that we produced on Google Analytics, and I would encourage you to download that. It's a great resource for why Google Analytics is important to you and your website. That's just a little sidebar.
But you can see here from our posts here on the business page, we love Midtown Sacramento. You know, we're using a collective voice here because the company really represents everybody here at Uptown Studios. And in this, we're speaking to a broader audience of people that, you know, I don't have 2,000 friends personally on my personal page, but Uptown Studios has an opportunity to connect with many more people as a brand.
Right. And we want to make sure that we're sharing our brand personality with the posts that we're writing. Let's scroll down a little bit. So Run to Feed the Hungry, that first map that we have up there, that has nothing to do with us. We didn't do anything with the Run to the Feed the Hungry, but what we are is we're supporting the Sacramento Food Bank, and we're encouraging our friends to show up for the run because we think it's an important community builder. It's not about Uptown, it's about us showing community support, and anytime we do that, that poses us in a positive light with our community. It shows we're involved and we care. And that's what we want to encourage you to do. It's part of our personality is to share community events.
And let's take a look at one of the relief pages. Here, Tree People. You know, great message. Don't let your trees go thirsty. And this is just sharing like a general message, getting your community involved. And you can see just with this graphic, got some pretty good engagement.
Yeah, and I really like that they use the hashtag El Nino.
Yeah.
I think that hashtags in these posts, the hashtag is really about a conversation that's being had. Anytime you use the hashtag, it's like the subject of your book or the subject of your article. And then it means that a serious conversation is being had about that. So that's a great use of a hashtag.
So great, and this is a great example of a business page versus a personal page. You know, they're using the we instead of I. They're spreading a broader message than just one person within the organization.
You know, we also have, go back up to the France where we stand with you. There's, we have written a tragedy strategy that talks about these big issues that happen that affect everyone, and the bombings in Paris were like that. So what you can decide as a company that you decide to go dark and not post anything for a particular day, and if you do post something, you're just saying, we stand with you. This is a perfect opportunity to share your concerns and your emotions with your whole target audience in a way that's supporting a greater issue, and then you can just go silent for a day and just let the news bubble up, because that's what Facebook is all about. So that you stand in solidarity with a group of people. You have a simple post just like this one. It shows that you're caring and concerned, and then you stop all of your posts. So it might be bad to post about other concerts that are coming up because the bombing happened at a concert. So you want to think about what the issue was, and maybe you go quiet about some of the things. It's like when the Boston Marathon happened. That's when we wrote the tragedy strategy. I should say that 3 times. And it was because there were a couple of groups here in Sacramento that were having a marathon, and they were posting about their marathon the day that Boston Marathon happened. And so we recommend that just stop and stand in solidarity with the people. Another tip.
And, you know, I love the way that this post, it's still really representing their brand well.
Yes, very well.
A summit that's happening around
Good job, Tree People.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. So, so that is really business versus personal. Oh, and one thing that we forgot to mention is admin access. So,
okay, let's go back to the page and show how that looks.
So when you are setting up your business page, you have the opportunity to manage with multiple users within the page. And if you go into settings, which I clicked here, and page roles, you can see everyone who has access to our Uptown Studios page. And here you can kind of curate who has access to what.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to always, everyone here is an admin, but you don't want to always, that may not be the best option for you, especially if you're working with volunteers,
right.
People who are helping part-time and may not be full-time staff.
Yeah.
So it's important to, I can't even change, here we go.
Yep. Okay.
So you can change it to an editor, a moderator, advertiser, or just an analyst who's like the lowest. They can see the numbers of a post, but
they can see who's doing what.
Yeah,
right.
But they can't make any posts themselves.
Right. Right.
So this is, you know, it's a good thing to keep charge of these roles, especially if sometimes you can be talking about more sensitive subjects, and maybe you only want certain people to be able to post about them. So this is great. In each role, you can see as you select it, they will, it'll give you an explanation of what they're available and able to do on the page.
So just click through those, and if you have a volunteer that's brand new, you can limit what they can do on the page, which is really important because you want to be able to train them and maintain your brand so that it's not getting, there's not a brand shift or a voice shift.
All right. So moving on, who uses Facebook? And these are Facebook demographics. These are new from 2015, and you can see there's pretty much no one who's not on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's a huge amount of demographics in the whole, across the board. And it's not always about like who's using it, but it's how to connect to the right people.
Right.
So everyone's on there, but you don't want to necessarily speak to everyone within Facebook. So that's where really getting to know your target audience and how to speak with them comes in. Because if you're looking to reach a certain audience, you can find them on Facebook.
So let's say that you really are trying to outreach millennials. Oh, I can't click on this. So that you see that the 18 to 29-year-olds, 82% of the people in the U.S. are 18 to 29 are users of Facebook. And then maybe you know that, okay, and we want the 18 to 29, but we want the people that are making 30 to 49,999. You can find those people in California or in your city just by doing these kinds of searches. So this is really a good guide to tell you where your target audience is and how many people you have the potential of reaching.
Yes, and if you want to dive deeper into some of the analytics of who is using Facebook, Pew Research Center does a lot of research on internet users, and their database is open on the internet for anyone to find.
Well, we're going to go into the back end of Facebook.
We will go into.
So, and we'll show you how you can really define your target audience. And so, what that does is it's going to save you money in the long run because you're only spending money on the people that you really need to connect with.
Facebook best practices, and this kind of goes within the strategy. It's what really works for you within your strategy, within your time limit. Posting 2 to 5 times per week. So I like to recommend that the last post on your Facebook feed shouldn't be more than 2 days old.
Yeah, then it looks like you're slacking.
Yes, and it looks like you're not really engaging. If somebody finds your Facebook page from, I don't know, an email or a shared post, and they go to your feed and they see that your page, hasn't been updated in a few days, that might deter them from liking and following and getting involved within your page. And the best way to do that is take some time, 1 day a week, to schedule your posts throughout the week.
You know what? Let's break over to the Facebook page and show how they can calendar right on Facebook. So we'll go back to the page. All right, now let's say we're going to schedule 3 posts for the week. Happy Thanksgiving. That's a good one. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, maybe I'm dating myself. You may not listen to this until later, but we're preparing for Thanksgiving.
Yes, we're 1 day before Thanksgiving during this recording.
Yeah.
So here we have our post, Happy Thanksgiving, and today's not Thanksgiving, but we want to prepare to make sure we have something come up on Thanksgiving. So we are able to, on the Publish button, schedule the post. And then a calendar pops up, and so we can select any date, any time,
anything.
If you're preparing for an event that's 2 months down the road, you can schedule your post, and so that way you don't have to worry about promoting that event. So Thanksgiving is tomorrow, the 26th, and we want it to go out at 7:42 a.m. And we're going to schedule it right here.
There you go.
And there it is.
All right, so it's scheduled. Now let's do one more, and let's say Small Business Saturday. Okay? Support local businesses. So here we have another one. All right. So we know that Small Business Saturday is on Saturday, so we're just going to go and schedule Saturday, and we can do a different time, like 9. Let's do 9 a.m. Okay.
And we're scheduled.
And there we go. So what we like to talk about here is that maybe you come in on Mondays and you plan for 1 hour to research some posts and get them scheduled for the week. And for 1 hour, you're really just focusing and thinking about what it is that you want to talk about and the things that are coming up and the things that aren't critically time sensitive, but you want to make sure that you have them in there. So we've got 2 posts for the rest of this week, and we're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Let's say something changes. You scheduled a post and you want to move it or edit the text. If you just select the See Post right here, we can see all of the posts that we have scheduled. And if you just click on it, you can make edits. You can decide to publish it right away. You can reschedule it, and you can delete it as well. So these are great tools to use when you don't have a lot of time, but you want to keep your Facebook page current
and fresh. Yeah. This is a great way to do it. Okay, so what we really want to do is we want to include some photos. Videos are the #1 hit. If you have, you see your feeds. It's a steady flow of photos and videos. The little 15-second videos, 30-second videos, those are going to get more clicks than the photos. The next best is the photo, and I swear every time we put a cute little dog photo on Uptown Studios, it gets way more clicks than anything else. And I don't think that you need to think of that as a negative. What it's doing is sharing our personality with the people that are on our page. It's showing that, yeah, we like these cute little dachshunds, or we have all of these sock puppets because we're raising socks for the homeless. So showing those cute little things shows our personality. It shows that we have one, and it's a good thing to share those photos.
And also keep posts short. With Facebook, there's no limit to the amount of text, but we really recommend getting to your point quickly when it comes to posts. Within the first line, if there's a call to action, put that call to action there.
Yeah.
And then explain. If it's to evoke a feeling, just keep them really short and to the point. And then if you do have more to add, allow people, get them hooked with the first sentence, and then allow yourself to expand afterwards.
It goes to that, write a really great headline. Some of the more popular hits are 5 reasons to review your website. 10 top reasons to plant trees in your backyard. I mean, have a number of things, and people will, if they're engaged in it, they're going to look at it. Let's go to, we're going to talk about the engaged, I'm just going to have Mia go through and show you, so it's Monday, she scheduled a couple of posts, and now she's going to spend 5 minutes liking, following, and commenting. So, okay. Yeah, we're not going to go into the back end. So,
let me log into another page here.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
that's a good one.
Cool.
All right, so this is a page that we manage. So we're going to go through, and she's spending her 10 minutes, and she's going to go through and she's going to like. You see that they're not highlighted, the likes or the comments or the shares.
And so we can like it, and then that they're pinged there that, oh, California Health Report is listening to us.
So we're following one of their clients, and they're going to get a ping that says, oh, look, they like this. And then let's say, is there a share? Let's find one thing here that we can share. Okay, here, 10 most generous nations. This is a nice little thing. And so we're going to share this on our page with a comment. So she's going to say, here's some great information.
And we hit post, and we're scheduled.
Okay. So this is what she'll do when she goes in and she's managing somebody else's account. She'll like. There are other people on here. She could just click through and like the people that are important to our company or whichever company it is. Like I would always like something from the California Endowment. So you could like that. You know that they're a reliable source of information, and you'd want to like them. And then they see that you've liked something, and they're going to go, oh, yeah, I like those people. They've been submitting for RFPs or for some grants. We should talk to them. They're really engaged on social media.
And one quick tip that I like to use to sort, Facebook will automatically show you the most popular posts, and I personally like to go with what's the most recent.
Okay.
So here in the news feed, there's a little drop-down menu, and you can select top stories or most recent. And with the most recent view, you can see the things that are current, that people are posting about right now, and usually, if, okay, this was 4 minutes ago, likely they're on there. You have an opportunity to really catch them when it first comes on.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yes.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So another, just a small tidbit, good tool to use when you're scheduling posts. So let's see.
All right, next slide. All right, so this is, how much time do we have? This is pay to play. For the most time of Facebook, up until 2 years ago, everything was free. So, and everybody saw everything. Now, what Facebook has done is that you have to pay, and it's small amounts, but you have to pay to boost or promote your posts so that everybody can see it, and you can have an outreach to new people, or you can reach to everybody on your list. So that's what the pay to play is all about.
Yeah.
They're starting to generate money, so and they're not doing anything that people have charged for ads over millennia. It's just that this is a new vehicle, and we all liked it better when it was free, but it ain't free anymore.
So let's walk through really how to access your ad manager, the tools that you can use to make sure that you are promoting to the right audience.
Right.
Because some of those insights I've had experiences where clients are promoting posts to a younger audience than what is actually their current audience. So they were paying to reach customers that were not engaging with them.
Right.
So those are important things to pay attention to when you're putting money behind your posting. So we can go, I'll go to my homepage. And from your personal profile, there's a place here where you can manage ads. And your ads manager, whatever page you're an admin or an advertiser of, you are able to post ads for that page. And this may be more ads than what you'll be posting, but it's important to know that these ads that you are promoting under your ads manager, no one else has access to.
So they can't see that it's Mia Lopez. They can't see any of this. This is really your dashboard, so that when you log in, you're really seeing what you're responsible for.
Right. And there are some tools to be able to share your ad.
What?
Okay.
Here we go.
You can pull up reports. Here's your ad dashboard. You're able to see, the ad that you have going on for the page. You're able to quickly, at a glance, see the performance of the ad, the budget that you've set up, the results, and this is where goal setting is.
Right.
And
so let's say that we have $50 and we're going to run an ad, and we really want to have more followers. That's what our goal is.
So
go ahead
and create a campaign. So from your ad account, you create a campaign.
Okay.
And if your goal is to get more likes to your page, promote your page is where you would go.
Okay.
And here you would pick the page that you have access to. So, great.
You don't have access to Uptown?
So we'll stick with Health Report.
Okay. All right.
Campaign name. So this is for page likes, and this is for December.
So put the year in, because it'll keep track of that for you.
2015.
And then you have a nice record.
Yes.
All right. So now we're going to find our audience. Let's click through, and we're going to figure out. Let's say that this is for a tree organization, and let's plan this ad accordingly, even though it's on the California Health Report. Let's pretend that it's on your page.
So we, of course, we're not going to want to target the whole United States.
Right. Too big.
let's say we're going to target the Sacramento area. And here you see
All the
list.
Sacramentos. Yeah.
We're targeting Sacramento. We want to target 50 miles radius around Sacramento. And here already our potential reach is 1.4 million people.
So that's a big target audience. And I'd look at that 1.4 million and I'd say, okay, that's too big for me. Let's reduce it to 25 miles and see what happens. Okay, so that 890,000, now that's kind of reasonable. Let's go through and see what happens as we change our target.
So here's where some of the knowing your audience comes in handy.
So let's say that we want to have followers, but I'm really looking for the 50-year-old plus. So I'm not feeling that. I feel like they are the potential donors and they're the potential people that are going to show up and volunteer. And I just have a feeling that it's 50 to 65 plus. Okay. And I do know that it's men and women.
Men and women. If you are working, maybe your organization works with other cultures that don't primarily speak English, and you want to create an ad in Spanish or another language, you can also use this targeting feature to target other languages as well as their primary language. For this purpose, we're using English. And so,
here, click on that more demographics so they can see what's under there. So this really starts getting more and more specific. So you want relationships, what their education level is. You may know that most of your volunteers have at least an AA degree. You could specify that in there, and then you're eliminating the people that don't have AA degrees from them spending money on them. So you're really trying to find the people that are closer to who you know you're already working with, right? Okay, so it has all of these filters that you can get things really fine-tuned.
Yes, Facebook has tons of data on their users, and you know, that's one of my favorite parts as a marketer and an advertiser with Facebook is that you can get so specific to their.
And you see, as we go, it keeps reducing the number of people, but the people are getting more and more defined. So we're going to be more effective with our ad, and we're not throwing money at a greater target audience that might not be as effective.
So we can target their interests. So maybe their interests are trees.
Yeah,
their interests are conservation. Conservation movement or biology. As you can see, it's very, very, very specific.
And let's do water. Let's do one more.
Water.
Yep. Okay.
And maybe we want to target volunteers.
Okay. So you see how she has refined our audience even a little bit more now. Look at the number, the potential reach went from 330 to 93. But look, we're finding people that are already shown interest in trees, water, and volunteering.
And then you can get more specific behaviors such as, like, are they donating to charity, or what is their job role? Do they travel? These are all things, you know, maybe a certain ad really targets those specific people, and you can go deeper and deeper and deeper if you need to, if you find that that would be more effective for your advertising.
Right.
And the only way to do it is to just try and try and try. Evaluate the ads after you promote them and see what's working and what's not.
So you can see that we have, I'd say, set a budget of $25, which we have right there, a daily budget, but we wanted to set a lifetime budget. So what we're doing is we're setting this up to be a test. So I'm going to set $50. And I'm going to see if I get any clicks on my page or if I improve my numbers over the we're going to do this from the 25th. We're going to do it for a month. So we have $50 for the whole month, and let's see what we do.
And here, Facebook will tell you, okay, with these demographics and with this budget, you are estimated to reach 520 to 1,400 people per day on Facebook.
Yeah.
And, you know, those numbers will dwindle as you look at who's actually liking the page. But that's just another level of reaching an audience that you wouldn't have reached before.
And they're very particular to what you're looking for. And you're spending a total of $50. You can't buy enough stamps to reach that many people.
Right.
And if you put an ad in another publication, you're going to spend, a cheap ad would be $500. And that's a shotgun approach because you don't know if it's really hitting the target audience that you want to work with.
Second here, optimizing your ads. There are a couple different ways you can optimize your ads. You can do the automatic, which is what I usually recommend if you don't have experience with bidding. The manual bid amount, which you can say, I'm willing to bid up to $5 per page like, which is
That's a lot. That's a lot.
And it just depends on the type of industry. You can see here the help you. But this is getting really more specific, and I recommend this if you have time to really closely monitor. But if you're just doing this to experiment and see what happens, let it automatically decide that for you. Facebook's algorithms are very intuitive, and they work really well. I recommend it.
Yeah.
And then you can say, I want more impressions, I want to charge more for page likes, and so they'll only charge you when somebody likes your page. You can schedule how often your ad is seen. Like, if you're only running it on the West Coast, maybe your audience is only on from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., and those hours between 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., you're not wanting to spend the money to advertise.
And right after we're finished with this page, we're going to go to your analytics and show you when your audience is online.
Right.
So they've also taken the guessing out of when your audience is online, is on their Facebook pages.
And then, of course, setting up your ad. You can select your images. You can add any type of image you want. The only thing you have to pay attention here, though, is if an image has more than 20% text, they will not run your advertisement.
Right. They don't want it to be so addy that it's all words and it's all a big sales pitch. They want it to look more social. So 20% content on your ads is all that they allow.
So you can upload images from your computer. I have this nice one of a pie.
There it is.
And you'll want to pay attention because you want the image to fit correctly within your advertisement. You can edit all of the text, and it will show you what the ad is going to look like before you hit launch. The headline might be the name of your page. We're going to change this. Where's that? It's not showing up. Okay.
All right.
Well, it's not loading, but that's okay.
Loading.
Normally, you'll change these, and it will load up and show you exactly what it will look like. You can see it on mobile. You can see it on desktop, the right hand, the side view on the right, and then what will it look like just within the desktop feed. And then the last step is to place the order. Once you hit that place order, Facebook reviews all ads before they approve them. So usually they'll send you an email or a little notification that your ad has been approved. Keep an eye on it. I would recommend just checking in maybe the next day just to make sure that it's running, because nothing's worse than running an ad, finding that it wasn't approved, and thinking that, it's working, but it's not actually running. So
let's go to the analytics. And we're just going to go into our page so that we're not divulging anything else on anyone else.
So within your page, when you're an admin or an editor, I believe, also has access to these.
Okay.
You have these tabs right up here, and I always love playing around with things. I just recommend going in and playing around. In Insights, if you go to Insights, here is where the brain and heart of your Facebook page lives. It tells you
How are you doing?
how are you doing. It's the health checkup for your Facebook page. How many likes are you getting? How are your posts performing? What is your audience engaging with? Who is your audience? It has just tons and tons of data.
So we have that little spike there on this first week. Let's see what that was about. So she just clicked on it.
So
And
we got
here, okay.
3 likes in one day.
And one day. And what was that was posted on that? Does it show?
No, you'll have to go back to your news feed.
Oh, okay.
So-
and see what it was.
Right, but when you're managing it day to day, you know, you get an
You're
idea.
gonna remember.
Yeah, you know what you did back here on the 10th of the month, and you think, oh, that post did really well. So here we're in the like section, and here you can see you have a whole calendar view. You can go back forever to see the kind of likes of growth that
Mhm.
you've received.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're not able to report every single month, even if you do it once every couple months, you still have that data available to you. So that is likes. You can see the reach. How much of your audience have you actually reached? And this will show you like organically. This dark orange here is paid if you've had any paid promotions.
So you can see how much it jumped. So when we pay, we had 353. If we didn't pay, we'd have 154. So let's say that I paid $10. Well, it's probably worth it to double my reach for $10.
If the message is strong enough, if
Yeah.
it's a call to action especially, where you need people to take action, that is really the opportune time to put some paid advertising behind it.
Mm-hmm.
You can see how many people actually viewed your page, timeline, the photos, your events that you have going on within Facebook. It's just a huge wealth of information. Your posts. Here's where you can find, if you go into Insights overview in the post page, this is where you can see when your audience is actually
The
online.
people that are following or liking me are online on their Facebook page between these hours. You can see that it peaks.
It's like
says-
in the afternoon after work,
Yeah,
and then it goes down.
and then it goes down.
So this is a good tool to use if you're looking for the right time to post. But what I've noticed is pretty much across the board, depending on if you're on the West Coast or East Coast, you know, business hours right before work until, you know, the evening 9, 10 o'clock is really the peak times that people are online.
Right.
And then you can even see per day of the week. So very detailed.
So you can find out which day is your best day to post.
Yes.
But pretty much you can see our audience is about 1,800 and so many any day of the week. So it really doesn't matter which day. We just need to make sure that we're posting in a consistent manner.
And then also cool to see all of your posts published. And this is great when you are looking for which posts are performing the best and resonating the most with my audience.
Right.
In one look, you can see how many people were reached. It'll
So
show
what's
you
that
paid
one?
versus, this is paid versus organic. So here we did some website promotion for one
Need
of
help
our
with your
services.
website. And
If you
so
click on it,
there you go.
Yeah.
There's the ad. It has 20% or less content on it. And it has a nice picture. So we're creating something that is nice to look at. It's interesting. And then we boosted it, and we got 14 likes out of it, which is great.
and you can see that invoked much more engagement than what a regular
Right.
post is, and that's where we push like pay to play. Facebook is showing your content to so many less people than what it used to.
Yeah, it really is.
So, and then the last thing that I want to show you here is the people. And this is where you can find who is your audience. Who are the people that are following you and engaging with you? And who are the people that you should be promoting posts to?
Right, right. So clearly we have a big number of women compared to men. Now, that also can tell me is I need to build my male audience. Because what I really want to do is I want to have 50-50. And I know that most of the managers that are ordering websites or graphic design or marketing materials for their business are men, because there are more male managers than females. So I may want to boost that 39% to make sure that it gets up to closer to 50-50, so that I'm sure that I'm reaching the decision makers for when they're buying marketing materials.
And that's a good point. And we can also see the city, you know, are we reaching the people that are here where we're supposed to be reaching?
If all of our ads are going to Turkey, you know, we're not going to be in business for very long.
And we are not, you know, we're not a national brand ourselves. So if we started, we wouldn't want to be boosting posts to the whole United States, you know. We're pretty centralized here in the Sacramento region. So you can kind of see a breakdown down to 2.
Yeah.
We have 2 likes from Armenia.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they're probably going to try to sell us SEO work.
So this is a great tool. And then secondly, the ages of your audience. We have a pretty diverse range, but one place where it really spikes here is the 35 to 54 audience in men and women.
Mm-hmm.
So what is our language? Is our language speaking to those people?
Yeah, right. And this is where you really can look at, ooh, you know, I better shift this a little bit, so that I make sure that I'm talking to the audience that I need to talk to.
Right. So really cool tools. Insight tab. For Facebook, I recommend, again, just really going in, playing with it, seeing what you can see. Just really, really great tool.
I want to talk again about the fear factor. It's like you put in, I'm going to spend $10 on this ad, and I'm going to run it for 3 days. There's a real deal, even with $10. Do I click that button? And pushing yourself to click the button and do a test for $10, you really can watch it and you start to learn. You really, once you spend a little bit of money, you really start learning. And you figure out, oh, that was really worth it, man. We got 22 new followers for $10. That's worthy. You should think about doing it again and figuring out what it is that you need to do to build your target audience, to build your followers, to build your volunteers. And you can track all of these things. Like if you had a click to volunteer on your website, you can drop in some Google Analytics code that will track that they came from Facebook to your website, and it was an effective means. They got you got some new volunteers out of it.
Yeah, and we didn't go through the Facebook ad glossary, but if you ever have a question about, you know, what is frequency or reach or actions mean, absolutely just Google Facebook Help, look for Facebook glossary. They have all of those definitions for you, so you can get a better sense of what those conversions clicks.
Yeah. You can also search for Facebook ad training. We have a great document, a great white paper that we produced on Facebook ads only. All you need to do is send us an email, send it to Mia, M-I-A, at uptownstudios.net, and she'll make sure to send you a copy of that document. Just mention it in the email, and she'll send it right away, and it'll help you out.
And we kind of went through this already, campaign objectives, and you can go through just a little bit of what other objectives you can use. You can send people directly to your website. You can increase conversions on your website. So if that's a donation-based system, if you're looking for donations or you want people to sign up for your newsletter, it's a little more an extra step above 101, but installing a Facebook pixel will allow you to track those conversions.
Yeah. So the conversion is, I placed an ad on Facebook, and the conversion is when they click on the ad and send the follow through. That's when you have converted that dollar spent on Facebook into a reality. So your return on investment is your conversion.
Yes. And one other tool that I would like to point out that I'm not sure a lot of users are aware of. Tree People is doing it. So here on your home page, even if you don't have ads, if people are going to your site, take advantage of this call to action. And as a nonprofit, you're able to put a donate now button.
Right.
And so
For free.
people can visit your page and go and they can donate. You link that to the donation page on your website, and they're able to make donations right from your Facebook page. And it's great. Please take advantage of this free button. And then you can include whatever call to action that you want. It can be sign up, it can be download it, it can be contact us.
Yeah, it's all of those things. And that's not available for for-profit businesses. There's a different way that you have to do it. As a nonprofit, they give you extra things that you can do because you're a nonprofit. Facebook Help is a great tool to use too. You just can type in Google and say Facebook Help designing ads.
I think you
Or is
can
it right on here?
help.
There it is.
So
Help.
if you go to your page and you go to help, you can type in your question right
All right,
into the box.
let's type in donate now for a nonprofit. Okay, let's see. There you go.
And not all the questions. Donate. How do you donate to it? How to set it up.
So they really have detailed instructions. So after this webinar, this is really just to get you familiar with many of the options. It's not really for you to remember everything, but that help button to type in any question, and you're pretty much going to get to it. If you have particular questions, you can always email Mia at uptownstudios.net, and she'll do her best to respond to you and get you some answers, or at least places where you can get some assistance.
We went through this.
Okay.
We went through
Age restrictions. So if you have alcohol or if you're having anything like that, then there are age restrictions. So you have to use the age restrictions.
And then Facebook mentions you're not able to mention any other page in Facebook ads.
Okay.
And they also have a grid tool. You're able to access it through the Facebook ads. When you're uploading a photo, you can check the photo for the grid tool. And then reporting.
Yes.
Reporting is very important. This is how you know if you are meeting your goals.
And that's why it's important to set your goals in the beginning. So let's say I want to have 50 new likes on my page this month. Well, then you go to your monthly reports, and it's going to tell you how many new likes that you have or how many new follows.
And compare month to month.
Yep. How are you doing every month, and are you continuing to grow and meet new objectives? If you set a goal of 50 and you did a couple of ads and you did a couple of things and you had 100, next month I'd say you should add 150 and push yourself to achieve a little bit higher than what your goals were set too low. If you meet them too easily, then shoot higher. You know, you can do it the next month because now you know a little bit more. All right. So that is our little social media Facebook 101. The biggest thing is get on your page. Make sure that you look at your Facebook page as a social outlet for your brand building and reputation builder. And it is going to work. It's just slow and steady. Just do what you can and don't be afraid to buy an ad.
And ads are so important to reaching that new audience, especially on Facebook. And just play around with it. If you put money towards it, you'll start getting results. You'll reach more people.
You will.
So
thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one. From Uptown Studios, goodbye.